Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna thank you. Thank you for joining us, for those that are live and those that will be listening to this recording. My name is Leonor Murciano-Luna, Dr. Leonor Murciano-Luna. And this is the Intro to Reclaim Your Voice workshop. This is the intro today, and we're gonna be doing some practices, and I'm gonna be talking a little bit about what we're doing with this program, what we're doing with a 5-week ongoing program that's going to begin in May. And yeah, very, very excited to do this. I love the voice work, and I really enjoy working with women. So just kind of a little bit of a recap of my work. I'm a holistic doctor, and I really am focusing a lot on women's health and women's healing. I'm also a healer, and throughout my life I've incorporated different modes of healing. Starting with like the psychological healing and the emotional healing, and I have my background in that. And then I went more into different traditional types of healing, like Chinese medicine, and working also with like Sufi medicine and Sufi healing, and the Vedic and the Taoist. And at the core, I really find that the healing is really connected with our spiritual essence, and that even the dysregulation in our physical body, dysregulation in our emotions, dysregulation in our thinking and our mental health is all really rooted in our relationship with our spirit, relationship with our soul, and the essence, and our essence, and the connection of our spirit, or the lack of connection, right? So that's the separation. And for us in the Western world, our culture, this is where we're at. We're in this level of separation, and not for all of us, because if you're listening to this, I'm sure you have a deep connection already with your soul and your essence. And so to me, that is the work that I've focused on, and really reclaiming and reestablishing that connection with our soul, with our essence, the pure essence, through sound, through the use of our own voice, through creative art, through the expression of our creativity, whether it's art or different crafts, whatever we're creating, because we're creative beings. Reflective writing, the connection with our ancestors, I feel, is a really important, especially the ancestral mother line, is really important in our overall well-being and health and healing. And really, this is this connection. We do have, I want to say this, we have we have that blueprint already within us, because we go all the way back to the Neolithic times. We go all the way back to what Anne Baring calls the feminine era, time of the feminine era, where we as a culture had an understanding of the sacred and regarded all of life as sacred. We regarded, the earth as sacred. We regarded ourselves as sacred. We had that connection with the divine and the divine realms. And so we have that blueprint already established within us. And then throughout the last 5,000 years or so, we've been disconnected from that blueprint. We've been disconnected from our essence, from our divinity, and from really the great mother, that the love, the essence of the mother. in general. And so that really is the medicine also for what we're seeing in our planet right now. That is the medicine that we're all needing to kind of move away from this kind of trajectory of separation, of destruction, of violence, and really start to see and weave through the love, but also start to see the sacredness in all of the physical, creation, and within ourselves and within each other, right? It's like weaving in that essence of love, which to me is one of the core, one of the core pieces of the mother and of our spiritual nature is the love. So overall, that's what I focus on. So I write about that. I've written a lot about that in Birth of the Conscious Feminine, which was my blue book, which is like the Bible, and Evolution of the Feminine Soul. And also, I work, with a lot of art to really like awaken that within us. Art and poetry. And I really love to do workshops and retreats and around this for other women, because I feel like we all have that within, and it's just a matter of waking that up. And also healing meaning like allowing all of the conditioning, all of the thought patterns, the beliefs, the trauma, collective trauma that we're carrying from our ancestors that didn't have an opportunity to heal. So this is what's like happening on the whole planet. We're kind of like raising to that level of love, of humanity. We're reclaiming ourselves in that process, and the divinity within all of nature, including ourselves. And so that's my focus. That's with everything that I do and that I've been doing for about 25 years. So today, and I say that so that we have kind of like an entryway of the why and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the how, but like what we're doing, why is it important, and why we're doing it. So I want to start a little bit around this wounding, right, for women. And I made some notes, so I really want to actually make sure that I include these pieces, because for women in the disconnection from our soul, from our essence, and from, the source of mother, of this loving source that's holding us, that's creating us, that is, supporting us at all times. From that disconnection, there's been a lot of different wounds that we've experienced, and the wound is what is kind of like, if we think of our wounds and our traumas, like what's in the way of our essence, because we, like, the essence is there. It's not somewhere else. It's within us, and of course around us. But our consciousness, to the degree wherever we are, everybody's in a different place, but our consciousness, we can't experience ourselves in these divine qualities. We might have some divine qualities that we can't quite feel or experience ourselves as part of our true self, or our authentic self. And so some of that wounding that we have suffered, basically because of, here's my companion cat. She's going to come up any minute now. Part of that has been because of our trying to survive, in a patriarchal culture, devoid of the love that has in many ways suppressed the qualities of the feminine, the qualities of love, compassion, and also the intuition, and also the creativity, and also many of those things that for women is very natural. And it's part of how we operate. Our emotional body is part of how we operate organically and naturally. And so in order, out of survival, we have really kind of encased and also repressed our own wounding so that we could survive in this type of culture. And so some of these woundings are, for example, not being able to express ourselves fully because it's not safe. And so this fear, a level of fear, whether it's conscious or unconscious, dominates our system, which then creates all of this different types of dysregulation physically, creates a lot of, for women, I mean, we have epidemics of thyroid issues, reproductive issues, immune issues, which is all related with this or rooted in this disconnection from ourselves. Not feeling supported, as women, and really feeling that sense of deep, deep loneliness and deep, like there's this disconnection in a way that creates a deep loneliness, feeling that we're not enough or not having enough. So this whole scarcity mentality, feeling abandoned and betrayed. Also this idea of valued by what we do rather than our inherent value. So it's like this performance, and we have to be productive in order to be loved, in order to be safe. Also valued by our looks, our bodies, our size of our bodies, our size, this whole outer shell of ourselves, rather than the qualities that we express. And the shame that we carry in being ourselves, because we've kind of programmed ourselves to be wrong, or really the culture has programmed us in many ways. And we, again, in order to survive, we've taken that on for us, for ourselves. Difficulty with boundaries and people pleasing. The drive to perfection and overworking and overthinking and trying to get it all just right. This whole duality of right and wrong, and trying to fit into this box of right according to the outer world. Again, that's devoid of the values of the feminine. That's devoid of the mother. That's devoid of the love. That's devoid of the, inherent divinity that we all carry. And so these patterns within us, they're living within us, and it's all part of how we've been disconnected from our own voice, from our own expression. And so allowing ourselves to use the voice, the sound healing, the voice, to reconnect with our divinity, reconnect with this blueprint, and allowing the sound, because sound, this is one of the medicines, and I think it's a very, very powerful medicine to this issue that I'm speaking about with women, and this disconnection, and this disconnection from our root, from our essence, from our soul. Using our voice helps us to not just connect with our soul and connect with these qualities of our soul and with these parts of us that have been exiled, but it also allows us to transform for these places, these conditionings, these thought forms, these emotions, this trauma, the wounding, all of that, to start to, these patterns that are in the way, to start to dissolve, because the sound is frequency. And when we're sounding, certain sounds will break through and help us to break through these particular patterns that in a way are disconnecting us from ourselves, from our true self. So that's actually the medicine. And I'm going to share my screen so that we can talk a little bit about how we're going to do this, right? The how. So first I want to show these, which I'm sure many of us are. Let me see if I can get to the screen now. Okay. So this is the chakra center of our bodies, and these are gateways. And these gateways, if you're a little familiar with these gateways, we all have them. And just like, you know, we all have our soul, and then we have different layers of the soul that, you know, when wounding is very, very deep, and and a lot of it is like generational, then we say it's not just in, you know, our emotional field or our mental field, but then also this wounding can be on the soul level. And so, but we still have that essence, that purity of soul, right? And so these gateways is one way that I have worked with women for years to activate a particular kind of grouping, right? Grouping emotionally, physically, mentally, that directly correlates with an aspect of our soul. And so, for example, we can just see here that each of these gateways are related to the glands, right? So you have the pineal gland, the pituitary, and the hypothalamus, the thyroid, the thymus, the adrenals, and the pancreas, the ovaries. And here you actually have some root glands in our root that are not named, but they're actually in this root area in our bodies physically. And you have organs. Each one of these also has organs related. Most of them have organs, like you have like your the thyroid or glands, but in the thymus you have your heart, and here you have also the whole digestive system, and you have your reproductive system, etc., etc. And so each one of these gateways correlates, has like a whole grouping of correspondences on physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. And so by activating, I'm going to share my other screen. I have lots of screens here for everyone. Sorry, it just takes a minute to kind of pop these in. So for example, this is another, I don't have it in the kind of hierarchical setting, but this would be our root right here. And why it's at the top, I don't know. But this correlates with our root. So this chart is part of the 7 embodiments of our feminine soul, which we will kind of go into more detail in the 5-week program. But for today's purpose, I want to show you how, you know, this is an aspect. So the dark mother aspect of this gateway, the root gateway, is also correlates with wisdom, death, life, rebirth. It's our root gateway, has a sound, and it also has a phase of the moon. And meaning that at that time, you know, at that time of the moon cycle, we can activate this dark mother, this aspect of our wisdom, perhaps better, quote unquote, or more easily than we might at another time. So if you move through, these each carry a different quality. So that our ability to connect with the wisdom, to truly listen, is correlated with our root gateway. And so if our root gateway is holding a lot of pain and trauma and wounding, which I kind of go really explicitly in the Birth of the Conscious Feminine Blue Book, if we're holding a lot of pain there, unprocessed patterns, then it's hard for us to connect with our wisdom. gets in the way. And so the same goes for the creatrix, which is our creativity, our ability to create, which is in our womb, sacral womb, our sacral gateway. And it also has a sound. And it also goes for our ability to heal with the medicine woman in our solar plexus. Right? So this is our ability to heal and to tap into that innate healing intelligence of not just the physical body, but of all your bodies, right? The emotional body, the mental body, and of course the spiritual, the soul. So all of these, one by one, of these chakras and gateways each have a particular soul quality, emotional quality, mental quality, physical quality. And when we go into, I'm going to show you one more screen if I can get out of this. Just to kind of give you the whole big chart, which we're going to be deciphering. And so you see now a little bit more of the expanded view of each of these chakras. And the superpower, which is one of the qualities of the soul, is wisdom, co-creatrix, ability to create and manifest, right, into the physical. So taking it from, which is a very feminine quality, letting the essence of our soul transform into physical manifestation in the physical realm. The healer, the healing aspect, the love, which is the unconditional love of the divine. The truth, the ability to really speak and be in our truth and be aligned with what is true for us, and being able to express that fully through our throat, through our voice. This is the throat chakra. And not be caught in the shame or in the fear or, because the shame and fear will totally shut us down. And so it's not like we're always going to just blast what we think, regardless of, our circumstances around us, but it's like being able to really know for ourselves what our truth is in any given moment, and to have a relationship and a trust with our own truth. And whether we choose to speak it or not is really, it's a choice. It's a choice. Then we have the seer, which is the vision, to be able to envision, something different than what we might be experiencing, to envision also the divine realms, to envision and to kind of open up ourselves to that vision and connect with it for ourselves, for others, for the planet. And then, of course, the last one is joy, which is bliss, to actually orient from pleasure rather than from pain and from fear and survival, which is part of the shift that's happening now on our planet. We are, as we reclaim these divine states and divine essence within ourselves and within all of nature and within others on the planet, then we're also orienting and moving out of, the fear and the destruction and the violence and the separation that we've been in. So it's like this orientation of moving out of fear and really connecting with the safety within our own bodies. And as women, we do that in many ways by connecting and feeling the support of the earth and feeling the physical support of the earth beneath us, right? It's like we can connect to the Great Mother through our bodies. Through the earth, sorry. It's like the essence of the divine is coming into the earth, and then we can ground in that. Right, we can ground in that, we can feel held, or we can feel supported. So it's not just what's coming in through, the upper chakras down, but it's actually being able to root in and feel the physical support, because we are physical beings. You know, we need physical support. And of course, the connection with others, once we are, you know, open this place within us, then we can connect with others from that heart space, from that womb space. And again, that's an action of our gateway of the love, and that unconditional love for everyone, even if they don't agree with you. It's okay. You know, it's okay. Like, we can see the divinity and we can honor the sacredness in everyone else. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, if there's harm on any level, of course you have the responsibility to make choices to protect yourself. So it's not about being nice no matter what or any of that. That's actually not, you know, not in alignment with deeper truths. But for all the purposes of what we're doing here, it's connecting with that love and that essence, and then also attracting those, because as we open those gateways in our own body and in our own souls, and we have develop a stronger relationship with these aspects of ourselves, then we begin, you know, we start to see it everywhere else, and we begin to attract that energetically as well. So, and not to mention, of course, creating health and healing in our body, right? Because that's, you know, that's a big piece. Really doing the work and doing the shadow work of all of these patterns of disconnection and separation that keep us from feeling good, you know, whether that's physically, emotionally, etc. So I'm going to pause for a minute and just see if there's any questions. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the chakras and understanding these gateways that connect us to the soul, but also connect us to our humanity and being human and who we are as women. And so we're going to do a little process now. I do want to say that on the 5 weeks, so the 5-week program is going to start in May, and we're going to be activating, we're going to go on a little bit of a journey where we're going to be activating with sound and really processing each of these gateways throughout the 5 weeks. It's a little ambitious, but we could do it. And we're going to use, of course, the sound. We're going to use poetry, reflective writing, and this kind of this deep shamanic journey that happens with the sound and with our consciousness and what our intention is and what we're open to healing in all of these areas. So not just connecting with the essence and our soul and that dimension of our soul, but also letting, you know, the conditioning, the patterns that are in these areas dissolve, right? And it's about allowing. It's not about us doing it. It's really about kind of learning to lean into something greater than ourselves and this whole mother essence energy, and awakening that within us. We're also going to be working with the drum, and I have 2 different drums here. I work with both the frame drum with sound. It's very powerful, and the frame drum really has a history of being part of the women. So there's this book called When the Drummers Were Women by Lane Redman, and she shows all the iconography of the Greeks and all of like Greek mythology and all different ancient cultures where women were holding the drum, were the first drummers, and were the healers, the ones that connected the community to these ecstatic states of the divine. And so I have been using the frame drum, and I'm going to recommend, we're going to do a class on the frame drum and how to start using it very simply for healing, for voice. It connects us with also like the heartbeat of our mother, which is the first sound that we hear. It's also representative of the womb, the circle. It connects us with the ancestors, with our mother line, with our ancestral mother line that use the drum, that use this device. It's like a portal in a way. I remember the first time that I took the drum seriously, because I kind of was raised very musical, and I did music very early on for years. Not necessarily the drum, but I had drums. And when I finally, probably maybe about 6 years ago, took the drum and wanted to work with the drum and for healing, for wellness, for this deeper connection. But I read about it, I knew about it, and I hadn't experienced it. And in my first experience, just drumming very gently, when I closed my eyes, I could see the women, I could see my ancestors in a circle around the fire, drumming and chanting and sounding, and it was just really profound. And so every time I pick up the drum, I know that they're ecstatic and that they're there, and that they're supporting us. And these are our ancestral mothers that are just wanting us to heal, and wanting us to also bring that healing back through the lineage and activate that healing that's possible in all of the women that have come before us. So we'll have some links for if you do decide to join us for the 5-week. This is one drum. This is a little bit big. I like it because it's very deep and profound, but we also have other drums that you can get. Now, I painted this one, and this is, I think this is a 12-inch Remo drum, Remo frame drum. And I also work with the buffalo, the buffalo drum. They call it the buffalo drum. But I also work with the drum that is what I call the native drum, which is the one that you use with a mallet and you hit. But this is the one, these frame drums, and you can paint these if you want, if you feel called to do that. They're kind of fun. And again, the women, I have all my other ones downstairs. But nonetheless, we're going to do an activation now. So that's part of the class. And let's see. And so now let's take the time. I want to actually walk us into an activation. And we're going to be sounding actually from the bottom up. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey. And we're going to actually touch upon each one of these gateways. And I want to keep it simple, but at the same time, I want you to kind of have this full activation. It's what I call conscious feminine medicine activation, a CFM activation. And it will kind of give you the overview. And then, like I said, in our 5-week program, we're going to kind of dissect this and really kind of go in and give the space, the time, the presence that each of these places need within us, so that we can reclaim the exiled aspects of us, of our soul, back into the love and back into wholeness, so that we can have more of our own authentic self. So to begin, let's just take a deep breath wherever we are. And let yourself feel your sitting bones, And I'm going to guide you, so you don't need to look at anything. If you want to close your eyes, if you feel comfortable, you can do that. I'm going to do a little bit of a prayer. And this is a prayer to the Great Mother to set our sacred space. Dear Mother, I bow my head, heart, and womb to you, for you are the creatrix and the creation. From your womb, the 10,000 things are born. We ask that you bring us close, awaken us, and keep us in your flow of divine grace. Hold us in your ecstatic presence where all veils are released. Letting only your whispering truth as our teacher. Let me drink, or let us drink, from your cup of mercy and merge with you into the annihilation of our being forever and ever, dear Mother. And so feeling, kind of turning your awareness within. I want us to call in your ancestral mothers, the ancient mothers that are completely healed and that are guides for us. And that perhaps were around maybe 3,000, 5,000 years ago. They walked the earth, and that they are completely healed and not disconnected from the mother in any way. And so calling in the ancestral mothers of light, your ancestral mothers, ancient mothers, and feeling the presence of love all around you. And then asking them to clear your field, 3 to 5 feet around you, asking them to clear your field completely. And then asking them to create a layer of protection all around you, like a womb of protection, and to hold that in place. Hold that in place. So you can feel the safety, you can feel the protection, you can feel the light and the love. And then we're going to, from our root and our sitting bones, we're going to feel down into the earth and really connect with the earth and the love of the earth. And letting ourselves just feel the earth. And all the love that she has for us. And then letting ourselves feel that support. And then going up to our crown gateway and opening up to the love and the light of the Great Mother, Source, Divine, God, Goddess. Just feeling that source holding you, the cosmic womb. That quality of the womb, Rahma, of the divine womb. And then just feeling that presence and receiving. It's like opening our crown to receive those frequencies of light and love. And then I'm I'm going to play an invocation just to call in and to further feel the presence of the light of the mother and the love. And I'll do it with the drum, which you will all learn as well. So just breathing and allowing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our hands, and we're going to be placing them on each of the chakras, gateways, and I can probably share this so that you can see. I'm not sure. Well, I'll tell you which ones to go, because that way you don't have to open your eyes. Okay, so we're going to start with our hands and bringing them all the way down to our root. Our root is like our sitting bones. It's the front of our yoni or cervix, and that whole area of our root. Perineum. So just bring your hands in front. And then we're going to start in a low pitch, whatever's comfortable for you, and we're going to go up the tones, so getting higher and higher as you move up the different gateways. And we're just going to do a very gentle activation with sound on each. So we're going to sound 3 times, and then we're going to go into silence and just noticing, inner sensing. Okay, and then we're going to go to the next one and the next one. Taking a deep breath. And the first one we're going to do is, the sound is going to be, and these are all primordial sounds, so they're not words, they're just sounds and vowels. And so the first one's going to be like you're just kind of it's very deep. It's the deepest that you can go, the lowest tone. It's a very interesting sound, But that's what our root needs. Okay, and then you'll hear that for us to kind of change and focus on the next one. All right, so let's do that 3 times. Breath in. Focusing on activating the quality of wisdom in our soul. Here we go again. Last time. Take a deep breath. We're going to go to our sacral, so right below our belly buttons, and we're going to do the ooh. Here we go, breathing in. Ooh. Inviting the creativity, the creative manifestation. Here we go. Last one. Beautiful. In silence. One breath. Moving up to our solar plexus, right below our belly button. Right between our belly button and our heart is our solar. Bringing your hands there. And the sound is O, mid-tone. Activating the medicine, activating the healer, your innate ability to heal, transformation, transmutation, alchemy. One more time. Beautiful. One breath. We're going to come to our heart. Left hand, right hand. The sound is ah, mid-tone, inviting the love. One breath. We're going to come to our throat. And here we're inviting truth. And the sound is A. Nope, it's not A. It's I. I. Okay, here we go. Come to our third eye in the center of our eyes. And you can cross your pinkies, put your hands over your eyes, and you're going to sound the A in the highest tone that you feel comfortable. Beautiful. And then we're going to come to our crown, up all the way in the top. And our crown chakra gateway is going to be the E sound, bringing your hands there, holding your space there. There we go. And taking a deep breath. And just feeling all that energy from top of your head all the way down into your roots and into your feet. And now letting it expand with each breath sideways, to the right, to the left of you. Expanding in front of you, behind you, and below you and above you, kind of like a sphere expanding of light, activation, frequencies. And just feeling that. And then when you feel comfortable, we're going to bow our head, our heart, and our womb to the Great Mother, and being in gratitude. And then opening our eyes. Just like to open our eyes. Letting ourselves kind of bridge the outer and the inner worlds, right? The world of energy, the divine, our soul, our essence, and the physical all around us. And so I like to kind of open our eyes and just feel that presence, like bring it with you. You don't have to disconnect from any of it. Yeah. And so for today, that practice you can do as a self-care, as a soul care practice, daily basis, and you can do it rather quickly, and it just aligns and activates each of the gateways. We're going to be expanding those. Like I said, there's so many other qualities to each of the gateways, and we're going to use the particular breaths also. We're going to, each one has a different breath, and we're going to be working with that and some of the qualities, and of course the soul qualities, but also the elements, which I call the universal mothers. So so the 5-week program, I will just say here that right now, probably, I believe it's until the end of the month. It's going to start on the 14th. Let's share our screens one last time. It's going to start on the 14th, right? The 15th. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it's on Wednesdays at this time for 5 weeks, 5 more weeks. And the cost is $369, but until the end of the month, I have a code for $100 off. So if you want to take advantage of that early registration, you can, and you can come on here on you can register through the website, Reclaim Your Feminine Voice with dashes. I will have that in the video below, and I will also have the code that will be going on until the end of April. And also we will also have some of the links to some of the drums for more information on the drums, so that you have your drum for our first class if you want to get that. And so I'll have some of those links also in the video on our channel, on the YouTube channel. Okay, so again, thank you very much. I'm gonna get out of here. All right, thank you very much, and many, many blessings to everyone, and hope to see you all on in May. Or, you know, there's a lot of other things going on, so feel free to go to thefemininepath.org and check out our monthly Dark Moon Circle that we have, which will be live streaming now from our new format, which we're going to be doing a live in person, and then we're also going to have it live stream, and you know, different things, and also my Substack, which I write and a lot and kind of connect with people that way. So hope to see you all at some point. Many, many blessings. Thank you.